Get a £5 free bet every week with Offer Club from William Hill. Simply stake a total of £20 or more across the week on pre-match football accumulators with 4 or more selections, and you'll get a £5 free bet on the Friday. Join William Hill Offer Club on mobile or online now.
Right, this is KUGAN CASSIUS Rifle TV in association with Macklins in Marbella. We're at the Golovkin Brook public workouts here in Covent Garden. With me, the knowledge himself.
Thank you very much for that title that you gave to me, KUGAN. I've run
with it.
I gave it
to you as well.
You gave it to me. You should have charged me for it.
I should have charged you for
4
it.
years ago. You know what I mean? Look at me now.
You gave me a few hard knocks tickets for free when we
back
started
in the day.
off,
Oh, man, yeah. It's cool. Thank you very much, KUGAN. Thank you.
I know James spoke to you about this fight a few times. You give Brook a chance in this fight, didn't you?
I actually do give him a chance in this fight. For the simple thing is this: if Kell Brook goes in there and gets to what the generalization is that Kell Brook's going to get knocked out really quick, and he goes in and he gets knocked out in 4 or 5 rounds, right? Is that good for boxing? Exactly, it's not good for boxing. So therefore, I'm willing him, and I know people listen to everything I'm saying now, and much as they say that they don't, but I know you listen. So I'm saying I really want Kell Brook to go in there and give it everything that he's got. Talent-wise, skill-wise, Kell Brook has to be the most talented professional fighter that Golovkin's been in with. Well, talent-wise, Kassim Umar in 2011 gave Golovkin a very, very tough fight, went late rounds with him. Kell Brook, skill-wise, I would say skill-wise, Kell Brook surpassed Kassim Umar. And remember, Kassim Umar smokes more weed than Bob Marley, and he managed to do this. So as long as Kell Brook has been living clean, because remember, fights are not won just by your 6 weeks preparation or your 8 weeks preparation. The fights are actually won prior to that, how you've been living 3 or 4 years maybe before your big opportunity. So if Kell Brook hasn't cheated himself, and I know in the past that he has, but if he's stick to a rigid regime, he has a fantastic chance of competing. If Kell Brook can compete, then if he can compete rightly, then he can win. Do you understand? I'm telling you this now. And people say, why do I keep on going back to history? The reason why I go back to history, because I can, and you're not going to forget the past greats. I refuse to let those guys die out, because history is synonymous and it repeats. There's nothing new under the sun, there's nothing old under the stars and the moon. I'm telling you that history repeats. And when we look at guys who have boxed from welterweight, have been a 147 welterweight champions, and have moved up to middleweight, they usually don't come in at a big, massive weight. Don't think like, oh, well, you need that. Like Barry McGuigan always used to allude to the fact of when he would have to get down, it's those last few pounds that he had to take off that made him sharp. Kell Brook shouldn't come in at 160. Kell Brook should come in at maybe like 156 or around about that weight. And if Kell Brook can do that and administer that hard jab, because Kell Brook got a very, very solid jab. Kell Brook got one of the best jabs in business. And not only that, but the way that Kell Brook sets himself and throws off his shots. And the next thing, I'm not a Golovkin hater. I think Golovkin's a fantastic fighter, but I'm backing the Brit. So if I'm backing the Brit, I haven't got nothing against Golovkin. Golovkin's excellent, but I'm not going to get overly gassed over by punching power. Yes, the man has impeccable timing, right? And not only that, but he's got great balance and he can maneuver you into shots. Kell Brook has to be level-headed. What I don't want is to be a 1-round blowout, 3-round blowout debacle, and it's going to look terrible for boxing. And everyone knows where I work right now. So therefore, I don't want that. I want Kell Brook to go out there and give it everything he's got. And if he gives it everything he's got and got a chance, Kell Brook can win the fight.
Does Golovkin have to underperform for Kell Brook to win?
I don't think he can underperform though. And that's the thing. I don't think Golovkin can underperform. Golovkin is what he is. He is what he is. He's just a tough, very technical guy, very well groomed, got superb pedigree. If he does if just for instance, just crazily, he was to underestimate Kell Brook, he will be in for trouble, because Kell Brook is tougher than what people expect. He's a tough man.
I asked Golovkin yesterday whether Kell Brook would have beaten everyone on his resume, and he said no. And then when I asked him who specifically does he think that
Stevens,
he couldn't, he didn't actually answer that question. He didn't answer the question. But if you was to pick out maybe 1 or 2 fighters that possibly Kell Brook wouldn't have beaten, who would you have said from the lot?
From the lot,
Lemieux?
No, I think that Kell Brook could have outmaneuvered and outboxed David Lemieux. David Lemieux we've seen against Asim Joachim, who was a former WBA light middleweight champion. He got outpointed by him. I've seen Rubio. We're talking about how horrible like Golovkin knocked out Rubio. That was a horrible knockout. But I remember Kofi Jantua knocking out Rubio in 30 seconds. So do you understand? So styles make fights. I think Kell Brook on his game will give anybody on Golovkin's resume trouble. But Curtis Stevens is a dangerous guy. He got a big left hook. But I think skill-wise, Lloyd Hannigan always say to me from a kid, Spencer is not about whether you're big enough for the weight, it's if you've got the skills, and you have to look at it. It's not whether you're big enough, it's whether you've got the talent for it. And Kell Brook's got the talent. So I think Kell Brook go out there 100%, and we should be backing him, man.
All right, Spencer, Fearon, thank you very much for giving
always a pleasure, man. Love, yeah.
Your time, and we'll pitch up with you soon.
Cheers.